Blog Talk Radio.
Lift off on another episode of Tarot Today, the radio show and podcast that's been bringing you the world of tarot for the past 12 years. I'm your host, Dax Carlisle, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. I'm the founder and president of the Tarot Guild, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and professionals, now in our 18th year. And joining me, of course, as always, is my fabulous co-host. She's the vice president of the Guild and director of communications, a professional tarot reader and crystal Reiki master. And here she is live from Amarillo, Texas, Mary Brown. Hey, Mary.
Hey, Dax. Hey, everybody. Happy Psychic Saturday.
Happy Psychic Saturday.
And happy International Tarot Weekend here at the Tarot Guild.
Yes, this is exciting.
Yay.
Yes. Yesterday was International Tarot Day, July 8th, 7/8. And for those that are, kind of new here and not familiar with the tarot deck, there are 78 cards in the tarot deck. So if you're wondering why July 8th, 7/8, 78 cards, it's that simple, folks. Yeah, and we're celebrating all weekend. Yes, all weekend long. Yesterday we had a wonderful kickoff party. It was a live video Zoom, Facebook Live on our group, and it was Gary, our director of professional development, and Mary, you joined us too.
Yes, that was a lot of fun, and we all talked about our pivotal moments with the tarot as well as our origin stories, our superhero origin stories.
Yeah, I got some positive feedback about the live and, the kickoff party. It was a kickoff party for the International Tarot Weekend. And interestingly, some of the things that people focused on and mentioned was, just us when we were chatting about like the Three of Swords and stuff. They just loved that, different take on things. Yeah,
That's cool.
It wasn't so. Well, it wasn't so much the International Tarot Day or our, tarot superhero origin stories and things like that. It was, just the simple talk about, different cards and, different ways of reading. Things along those lines. Yeah. Tarot talk. Hey, so if you missed yesterday's live, the video is, all over our website, thetarotguild.com. You can just go over to the website, and you're right there on the main page at the very top, right in the center there, is the video. So you can just go over to thetarotguild.com after the show, of course, today, and then you can catch up on the kickoff party. Sorry, I can't talk today. And, we're celebrating all weekend. We got Tarot Today Radio today. We're going to be taking your phone calls at 714-816-4628. You can call in and tell us your tarot superhero origin story if you have one, or you can ask for a mini reading or just, talk tarot or whatever's on your mind. And then tomorrow it's Magic Universe with host Sharonah Rapseik, and she has on the fabulous tarot author and deck creator Sasha Graham, and they're going to be talking about the Waite Smith Tarot and a few other things, and it's perfect for International Tarot Weekend, right, Mary?
Absolutely, and definitely you want to join our Facebook group if you haven't joined it. We have a page and a group. Like the page, join the group, the Tarot Guild on Facebook, and all kinds of cool stuff always happening there, and it's a great way to catch all the stuff we're always talking about, because we always have something posted in there, and it'll be cool. We'll have more stuff posted for International Tarot Weekend as the weekend progresses.
That's right, and really international stuff we've got for you coming up. Just hang in there. It's coming. And blog posts and articles and different things from around the web and from some of our members that are international too as well. And it's just... This is exciting. Yeah, I mean, for those that don't know, speaking of the origins and such, you can go over to thetarotguild.com and let me double check, make sure it's right below the video for the kickoff party yesterday with Gary Karp and myself and Mary. You'll see the banner for today's show with the International Tarot Weekend banner and the Tarot Today. It's just celebrating this weekend. Just click on that, and it'll fill you in on what's going on this weekend and some of the stuff, including, kind of the origin story of the International Tarot Day, which it was 2017, and a grassroots movement arose to create this International Tarot Day for all tarot lovers worldwide to celebrate tarot and all it has to offer July 8th. This is a non-commercial, decentralized, untrademarked event, not associated with any particular organization, group, or individual. It's for all of us. That's right. And there's a lot of great ways to celebrate this weekend. Maybe you'll give away free tarot readings. Maybe you'll go get a reading. In fact, if you're hanging on the phone lines, that's what you're doing right now. Thank you. And you could start a blog hop. You could do a local meetup. You could do a contest or create a tarot deck or teach a workshop, do an article on Medium or some other publication or your local newspaper, maybe TV, radio. I mean, the sky is the limit. Tarot's becoming more and, ever since, in the past 5 years since 2017, the tarot has become even more popular and mainstream, right, Mary?
Yeah, it does seem like we're going through some sort of explosion of interest, and I think that can be a really, really good thing overall. It's kind of nice to think that people are, searching a little bit deeper and using the wonderful tool that tarot can be for that, for self-reflection and self-development, as well as, getting advice on what's going on in your life and on the path that you're on. That's great.
Yes, absolutely. Also, on that same page, if you scroll down towards the bottom, we do have some specials for celebrating International Tarot Weekend at the Guild. For instance, if you're new to tarot, you can enroll in my course for 2 payments of $78. I wonder where the 78 came from. Regularly $297. Tarot by the Numbers, it's a self-paced 11-video module course, and your application fee for certification is included in that course. Now, if you're already a professional reader, you can apply for the CTR, Professional Tarot Reader Certification, through the Guild. It's just $78 this weekend, regularly $128. Also, if you need a little, maybe a coaching session, some tarot numerology, you want to explore questions about your tarot business or career questions, relationships, any life questions, you can book a session with me for just $78 right now, normally $124. And all of that is on that Celebrating International Tarot Weekend page. You'll find the banner right there on the main page at thetarotville.com. Just click on the banner and you can avail yourself of those specials that we're running just for this very special weekend here. Also, the phone lines are lighting up like a Christmas tree, Mary. I want to get that phone number out again, 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. That lets us know you want to be live on air with us and put you up at the top of the queue there, and we take the calls in the order that they come in. So 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad. We're also in the chat room over at thetarotville.com. You can click on chat in navigation, or just open a new tab in your browser and type in thetarotville.com/chat. That'll take you over there as well. And there's Mary, Sharonah, myself. There's a few people in the chat, and you can chat with us live during the show, make comments. You can even ask for a mini reading right from the chat room if you like. One more time, that's thetarotville.com/chat. So before we go to the phone lines, and we're going to be taking phone calls, all day, yeah, for the next 8 hours. Maybe. Get ready. No,
maybe you are.
Well, all show. We'll say all show. Okay, yeah. We only got an hour here, folks. All right. But before we do that, I know you got a card of the day. I've got a card of the day, the numerology of the day. Go for it, Mary. What did you get?
Go for it.
Yes.
Yes. So I drew a card from the Eternal Crystals Oracle card deck by Jade Sky with really beautiful crystal artwork by Jane Marin. And the card that I drew was card number 11, which is chiastolite. And it is such a cool stone. Maybe some people are familiar with it as the cross stone because there's like deposits of carbon and different things that like make this cross, this sort of dark cross run throughout the stone. And so when they slice it a certain way, you really see like the cross on it. And this is a stone associated with the root chakra. It's really a great stone. And it's great for connecting to the past and even loved ones who have passed over. And that's the message with this particular deck for this stone is the past loved ones watching over you and just to let you know that maybe you no longer have their presence in your life in a physical way, but that doesn't mean that they're not still connected to you. So it might be a good time to kind of, open yourself up to that possibility that your connection to your past loved ones has remained intact and maybe just, is taken on a different form. And you might find moments where you feel that special connection to someone who has passed over. So that is the card that I got for today. What did you get, Dax?
Awesome. Yes. Well, I got the 5 of coins. The 5 of Pentacles, 5 in numerology is change. So today we're looking at making some changes. And the thing about in particular, the 5 of Pentacles in tarot, in the traditional Waite Smith version, we're passing by a what do you call it, Mary? Like a stained glass.
Yes,
window.
A church.
And we assume
in
it's
the deck you're using. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, in Waite Smith too. You're like,
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure. I mean, it's like 98% you're sure, but that there's a church, and it's got the two individuals. One is a leper, has the bell around the neck, and they're literally out in the cold, but they have each other. And the other thing is sanctuary is right behind them. If they'd only look behind them, they'd see the church. The thing with 5 is it's a high energy number. You can get a lot accomplished today. It's that energy of change. Sometimes it can be the chaos number. And if we look further at the numerology today, today's the 9th, so 9 is endings. It's the end of a cycle. It's letting go of things. And the entire date, 7/9/2022, we already know that 2022 is a 6 world year, or 6 universal year, sometimes they call it. And so if we add, 2022, obviously 2 + 2 + 2 is 6. Add that to the 9 and the 7, you get 22. 22 is the master builder number, and it further reduces 2 + 2 is 4, which is structure. So today is all about creating foundations, structure, and with it being that higher energy of the master number 22, the master builder number, it's a little bit more important, folks. I mean, yeah, you can go out and do renovations on the house and the garden and things like that. Anything that's structure today, but the message coming through, especially with the card of the day and this, is it's talking about making some changes. It's talking about setting some foundations today and preparing for the future, creating some structures, perhaps some rituals, perhaps some underlying structures for moving forward and for allowing more abundance in your life. But with it being a 9-day, that requires letting go of the old, beliefs that no longer serve you, relationships that are holding you back, any kind of baggage, bad habits. This is actually a great day to replace bad habits with good ones, because what is that? That's structure. That's creating ritual, And so that's the message that's coming through today. What do you think, Mary?
I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm not a fan of the 5s. And I'm having a 5 year. But at the same time, sometimes you got to ride the wave, and see where it takes you.
But it's also a year of change and high energy, which means that you can, in order to stop doing what we've always been doing and actually succeed, it's the Einstein quote, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, So you got to change up what you're doing. You got to get out of the garden. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to think outside of the box. And you actually have the energy to do it this year. And me knowing you personally, I know that it's not been great the last few years, and the energy's not been there. I think the energy's coming back for you, and we're halfway through the year, and you're like, well, where was it? It's like, well, it takes some time to build up, and but I think, there's some projects I know you have on the back burner that you could actually get done this year because you have the energy to do it, and you can make some changes to create the abundance that you want as well. And this goes for everybody listening as well.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Awesome sauce.
Yeah. So let's see who's out there. 714-816-4628 if you want to chat with us. Hold on, I got to shuffle again, Mary. Do a little shuffling here, see what happens. Yes, I'm actually, for the first time in, I don't know How long have we been doing radio? 12 years. First time in 12 years I'm actually using a physical deck on the radio.
That's
it
funny.
was my dirty little secret for a long time, right? You know, it's like no one knew, but I was just pushing a button. Yeah.
I
Okay.
I knew.
You knew. That's right. Absolutely. Let's see who's been waiting the longest. We take the calls in the order they come in, folks. 330 has been waiting the longest. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Leslie from Holly Springs, Mississippi.
Oh,
hi.
Did we talk to you before?
Yeah, because it was before I was starting my new job. I've been in that job now for almost 3 months.
Oh, wow. How's it going?
It's going well. A lot of procedures, a lot of processes. Yeah, I'm getting along with my teammates, and I do want to be there long term, and I'm excited about it because the main goal is to be there long term, at least 2 years, and parlay that into a potential doctoral program. Do you see myself being there long term at my position here in Mississippi for at least 2 years?
Okay.
Years. Let's see what comes up. Ooh, the Hierophant. Oh, yeah, that's actually a good sign because you're in a foundation, a structure. And by the way, that's a 5 card as well, talking about change. And 2 of Swords. There's your 2 years. Yeah, I mean that's the timing card too at the end. So I mean, I can't really give you a better indication than that. But let me look at something real quick here. 4 to the Fool card and the Hierophant card. So that's 2 big yeses, 2 regular yeses, and the Knight of Coins. So that's the Knight of Coins is the only no. So it's 4. I'm getting 4 out of 5 yeses on this. The timing card too, the 2 years. Yeah, it's looking really, really good, Leslie. The only thing I can think of, what I'm getting with this Knight of Coins is that's the slowest moving of the 4 knights. And so materially and financially, things are going to move on kind of like at a snail's pace, but making progress, and so, but you got the 2 years anyway to wait anyway. So yeah, it's looking really good. And then as soon as it comes up, the Fool's like, yeah, jump in feet first. Let's see what Mary's getting. What are you getting, Mary?
Well, I did get the 2 of Swords as well.
That's
and
insane.
I got this.
Talk about synchronicities.
Exactly. So I get the feeling, it's going to be at least 2 years. I get the Sun card and also the 3 of Pentacles, which is really nice for like a question like this because it does talk about working together with others and building things, building a career in this way or building a path. And really, that Sun card is, to me, always like a great sign because it's got this just really bright, energy to it. There's a sense of like, okay, there's nothing shady going on here. It's all like out in the open and broad daylight. I feel like this is good. This is going to be good for at least 2 years, if not 3.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of things have changed since I started my new job. I gotten a driver's license for the state of Mississippi, which is really great. And I'm researching and finding a vehicle that fits me because I want one with a backup camera. And I do plan on doing the practice driving at the end of July and early August, right before the academic year starts because I'm working here at a small college here in Holly Springs. Yeah, because I had some issues with the teammate this week, and we settled it in a private matter. And I don't want that to affect my long-term employment.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it looks like you're
looking really
good at least for the Yeah.
Yeah, give us a call back, Leslie, and let us know how it goes. And maybe you'll have, new questions at that point, too, as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
It's always great to reconnect with callers that we've had, some of them, like in Leslie's case, months back, and see, what's actually transpired. A lot of times
it's so
we
cool.
find out, they tell us that, hey, you were spot on, and this is where I'm at now, and can you pull more cards? We love that. It is just so cool. It is so cool. And the synchronicities, and it's not just because it's International Tarot Weekend, but we get this all the time. And, I pull the Two of Swords, you pull the Two of Swords. It's like, it's the universe.
Crazy.
It's the tarot. Yeah, it's the tarot winking at us, going, this actually works, folks, Okay, let's see. Who's been waiting the longest in the wings here? It looks like, oh, God. Hang on with me for a second, folks. My switchboard is jumping all over the place. I think there's too many callers. It can't handle it or something. Anyway, or maybe I got to switch from the Chrome browser to the Edge or Firefox or something. But it looks like area code 256 has been waiting the longest. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kimberly, and I'm calling from Georgia.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
How are you?
Well, how are y'all?
Good. Good.
We all doing good. Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Hey, we're celebrating. It's International Tarot Weekend. We're woo-hoo.
Oh, wow.
It's our sign. It's our sign.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, what do you want to chat about?
Well, I had a question about career or anything that the cards want to give me today.
Well, what's your specific question about career?
So, in reference to career, I left the field of teaching, and I upskilled to an instructional design e-learning certificate. So, I completed a course upskill. And now I'm applying to those types of jobs and like curriculum design jobs as well. And I just want to do maybe some headway with that.
Okay.
Awesome. Go ahead, Mary.
That sounds so interesting.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it. Well, the first thing that comes up is the Hierophant card. That's so funny. That's so perfect because it is about, it is connected to education and learning. Wow. 1, 2, 3. I pulled 5 cards, and 3 out of the 5 are major arcana cards. And it's this beautiful, like, passage from the Justice card into the Hierophant card into the Star card in the outcome position, which looks lovely. Also have the Page of Cups, so that idea of, like, this kind of new phase for you. That's maybe a little more connected to your heart, to what you love, The other card that comes up here is the one that I want to talk about most, though, because this is like, to me, this is like 4 out of 5 cards are like saying, go for it, this is good, reach for the stars, literally,
Okay.
Be optimistic about this, and you've done the things that you need to do in a sense to sort of balance your life better by making this shift. Okay, I feel like that's why we've moved past Justice and now we're into that Hierophant card. But the one card that I really do want to talk about a little bit is the 4 of Cups. Now 4, 4 is a great number, right? That idea of structure, all of that. Dex is the numbers man. He can elaborate on that if he gets a 4. But, what strikes me about this 4 of Cups is like, okay, what is it, if anything, that maybe we're not paying attention to or that we're overlooking when it comes to an opportunity to move in this industry, And with the Four Cups, sometimes we can be just like too focused on like what's before us. You know, we're like, okay, you know, we're doing this, this, and this, and there may be something that is kind of being offered to us that like we're just not considering. So this is something to think about. You know, it's not disastrous or anything like that, but it does kind of give us a sense of like, hey, you know, there's more approaches to this, to, you know, to getting where you want to get with this than maybe what we're considering. There may be something that, you know, we may have dismissed and just thought, yeah, I don't know, I want more than that, you know, or I don't think that would be helpful for me. And, you know, the other thing about the Four Cups, too, is I associate it with this sort of like mid-July time frame. So it could very well be that there's something coming up in that time frame. And also, you know, it can be a card of distraction, too. So sometimes we can be focused on something and we're, like, not letting distractions in, or we're distracted by something and we're not seeing what's right in front of us. That kind of energy to it. But ultimately, everything else that, you know, came up with this, I feel like kind of overpowers that. So just something, you know, keep your eyes open, scan your sector, you know. That's what I think when I see the Four Cups. But let's see what Dax is getting.
Okay.
Cool.
Scan your sector. Oh, I just love that.
It's so military, right?
I'm getting something similar with, because the World card is showing up and the Eight of Wands, and those together can mean the internet. So what I'm getting is, you know, first, things can be happening really fast with the Eight of Wands, which is actually also the last card, so it's the timing card. 8 is abundance in numerology, and things happening quickly, messages coming through. The timing on that would be 8 days. I mean, this could break in 8 days, which is mid-July, which is, you know, what Mary was just talking about. So it fits with her timing. Now, it can take as long as 8 weeks. You know, whenever I get, you know, depending on the card and the question and the spread, I look at the numbers and I usually get a range. It could be 8 hours to 8 days, you know, 8 days to 8 weeks, you know, 8 months, you know, things like that. And this range is 8 weeks to 8 days to 8 weeks. But because it is this particular card, the Eight of Wands, you know, it tends to be a lot faster than that. And in connection with the World cards, I mean, first of all, the World card was the first card that showed up, and literally the world is opening to you now. And it's going to be your connections, you know, through the net and, you know, networking, groups around this, that surround this field. You know, I feel like that's where the breakthrough will come through. But the central focus card is the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Coins, and she is beaming with smiling here. I mean, she's got a fantastic harvest in her basket here. I mean, it's just looking really, really good. And then the next to the last card is the Nine of Cups, which is literally, you know, the wish come true card. And he's got all his cups here. And he's the gentleman in the card is holding up a cup. Looks like he's going to have a little glass of wine and celebrate here. I mean, this is just looking really good.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for the call. So we're going to thanks, Kimberly. We're going to put them back on hold here. And Mary, it's the bottom of the hour. Before we take any more calls, do you want to let us know what's coming up on the network?
Absolutely. So this week on the Psychic Talk Radio Network, where we are right now. We have a really great show tomorrow. And again, this really fits well for International Tarot Weekend on Sunday, July 10th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's the Magic Universe Show with your host, Sharonah Rapseik. And she is going to have on a very special guest, the amazing Sasha Graham, and they're going to be talking about the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot and also taking your calls for free tarot readings. And next Saturday, Dax and I are going to take a little break. We're going to take a little summer break on that day, so you won't hear us again until the following Saturday, July 23rd, when we will be back with Tarot Today Radio. And also, I want to make a short programming note that Spiritual Guidance Radio is on break for the summer, but host Catherine Hahn is going to return in September. So we're looking forward to that. And you can find everything that's coming up on the Psychic Talk Radio Network by going to psychictalk.net/upcoming. Back to you, Dax.
Awesome sauce. Oh,
yeah.
Can you hear me okay, by the way?
I can hear you.
Okay, just checking because I had to change my connection and using the physical deck, I've got the studio over here, and then, of course, this is radio. No one can see what I'm pointing at, but I got the studio over here, and then I've got the the table with the cards and everything over here, and I was afraid that as I turn to look at the cards and work with the cards that maybe not the best voice quality, so I'm switching to a different way of doing it. So I just wanted to check on that really quick there. I'm glad you got in about Catherine. She's going to be back in fall. So I'm assuming early September, probably the first Monday or so in September, unless she changes her airing days. Oh, I do want to mention something and just get the ball going a little bit, that this is kind of exciting. Maria G. Moss retired from teaching, as you all know, and she went on a very long hiatus from the network because her and her hubby were moving to Florida and buying a new house and setting up house and all of that, really cool stuff and everything. But she is going to be returning to the network, and I don't want to say that we actually have it, completely nailed down, but it's looking like it's going to be early August next month. So as I look at my calendar here, she's going to be doing the first Sunday of the month. Sharonah's show, Magic Universe, is the second and fourth Sundays. Okay, so Maria's going to be live on the first Sunday, kind of like how you do the first Saturday of every month with There's a Rock for That.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah.
Right. And the third Sunday is open. She could do a live show, but she said she's going to try doing some pre-recorded interviews like we did with Radley, and we'll just be popping up. We'll be popping up pre-recorded shows, pre-recorded interviews, things like that for Maria. And tentatively, the title of her show is The Angelic View. So that's right. Angels are coming back to Psychic Talk Radio. Yay! And
they never left.
Well, and we just had Radley on, so there you go. I mean, we were talking all about tarot and everything, but he's also a big angel dude. But it looks like the first I'm looking on here. Okay, so the first Sunday in August is the 7th. So look for that show to be possibly premiering The Angelic View Sunday, August 7th. And I'll probably be on there with Maria helping her out. You know, she's got to get her feet wet again. She hasn't been doing this for a while, you know.
Awesome song.
You got to dive right in.
Dive back in. So I wanted to make that programming note there. And also, as far as the Guild goes, we do have a couple of workshops this weekend. Listen to me. We do have a couple of workshops this month on some of the upcoming weekends. So Sunday, July 17th, we have Kabbalah for tarot readers. That's going to be put on by Sharonah Rapseik. And then July 24th, it's all of us, the Guild staff. We are having a panel discussion, and this is going to be a lot of great information, becoming a successful remote reader, because that's what's basically going on. So we're going to be talking about, you know, Zoom and Skype. We're going to be talking about working remotely. We're going to talk about, you know, doing phone readings, email readings, chat readings, because I actually do a lot of readings in text, believe it or not, live, but in text. Yeah, I'll explain all that in the workshop. And these workshops are free to our premium members. The premium membership on thetarotguild.com is $1 a month. And you get we have a whole bunch of great workshops in the can, as they say, Mary. And they're available. They're right there, the video replays for you to watch all these workshops, and you get all those and all the upcoming workshops for, you know, all year long. It's $12, and so that comes out to $1 a month. It's like the best deal in tarot. So you can join us for Sharonah's workshop on the 17th, Kabbalah for tarot readers, and our workshop on the 24th, becoming a successful remote reader, by joining the premium membership. Go over to thetarotguild.com and just click on become a member. Okay, so got those little plugs out of the way here. We're going to see who's been waiting the longest here. I want to say it is area code 917 has been waiting the longest. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Mary and Dax. It's Sharonah. I'm really enjoying your show today. Yeah, celebrating International Tarot Weekend, and I was also
Go ahead.
I was also I loved your show yesterday, and where you and Mary and Gary were talking about what you were calling your origin story, or your creation story, or more like an initiation as far as when you got into reading tarot. But I know that you mentioned the movie, the James Bond movie, Live and Let Die, you know, the famous movie with Jane Seymour and the voodoo priest in New Orleans, and that was back in 1973. But I want to let you know, maybe because I'm a few years older than you guys, that there was also
no,
you're eternal. You're eternal.
Well, I'm a vampire. Okay, but there actually, you know, people like, you know, you were saying that was the first time that, at least in the United States, that people saw a tarot deck, and they remember that. But I want to let you know that there's an even more important date when tarot really kind of became into the consciousness of the American public. And there was a show when I was a little kid. I would run home from school called Dark Shadows, and I will never forget, and I even remember the date. It was in 1968. They had two shows where tarot cards were used. was a reading that was being done for Barnabas Collins. And the deck that was used was a deck.
That's so cool.
It's a Marseille deck. In fact, it's known as the 1JJ Swiss. And they used that deck. And that was when I suddenly got turned on to tarot. Prior to that, I was into card reading, even as a little kid, but I read with a poker deck. And I saw this wonderful deck that was in French with, all the cards, and I had to get one. And so for a lot of, as far as the first time that most Americans got to see tarot, I believe that was the first time that it appeared on American TV, which was in 1968. And then in later episodes, what was interesting is the reason that it is the JJ Swiss deck, which is a Marseille pip deck that's in French, was tarot cards really weren't that readily available in the United States. And then in later shows, like around 1973, they started using on the show the Waite Smith deck. And that was because it was in 1971 that deck became available in the United States. So, just a little bit of a history lesson. And, of course, a lot of people say that's the deck that changed the world, at least in the, for people in the United States and people who spoke English. Because prior to that, all the decks were either in French, Spanish, or Italian. But I do, I do have the French deck. Yeah.
And you guys are you and Sasha are actually going to be talking about Waite Smith tomorrow. I want to ask you, though, what was it that actually drew you, though, to tarot? I mean, you saw it, but, what was the draw?
Well, I had been reading since I was a little kid with a regular poker deck. So I was very familiar with reading with the cards and using it as a form of meditation. And also,
so
that was how I learned. That was also how I learned my numbers. I mean, I learned to read cards using
numbers.
It's all numbers, and
Right. And some of the face cards, of course, is not as many as the court cards in tarot. But I was going to ask you. So that's how you went to tarot. But so let's go back all the way to the card reading with the poker deck. How did you get turned on to that at such a young age, though? I'm wondering.
Well, this is very mystical, but it's absolutely true. When I was 4 years old, my parents had a Halloween party, and they dressed me up in a long skirt, and I could come and visit with the grown-ups for a little bit, and then I would have to go to bed. They dressed me up in a long skirt, a little vest with little coins on it, and a little scarf on my head, and I was at the party. And there was a grown-up lady who was dressed the way I was dressed. I guess what you would call it was a gypsy outfit. Today we say Romney, the Romani or the Romney. And
Romani,
she said, I want to show you something. And she had a deck of poker cards. And she says, you need this to complete your outfit, and I will show you how to read with it. And the thing about, even though I was 4 years old, I knew my numbers. She said, look at the numbers, look at the colors on the deck. When you get black cards, that's a no. When you get red cards, that's a yes. Look, there's people in there. That's someone speaking to you, either in the, on the other side, or it's even you in a past life or a future life. And there's numbers on the cards. So if you get a 1, that means something is beginning, and the whole bit. And it was amazing. It just clicked with me. So I started doing. She said, "Let's go up to that person and do a reading." And I did my reading, and then she says, "What do you say when you're done with a reading?" And she said, "You say, you put out your hand." So I like to laugh and say ever since the age of 4, I was being paid to do card readings. So I have
love
a really
that.
long, I have a very long professional reading history. And
That's such a cool story.
And I love the fact that I was told that you have to, and I left the party, had to go to bed, and I had lots of dollar bills. So, and the lady, I never saw her again, and she says, yes, you have to reward the tarot reader. It's an exchange of energy. So,
nice.
So that's really my origin story. It was with the poker deck, and then I played with it as a kid, and then took it to school and read for friends, and we were all watching that show, and that was the first time in the United States, I believe, that actual tarot deck, not a poker deck. Poker decks all over, for gambling and everything. I guess everyone's watching Maverick, those shows where there was gambling with the cards. But that was really the first show on American TV, on Dark Shadows, that used an actual tarot deck. And
I love Dark Shadows. It's funny because it's like it really became kind of a cult classic later, because like in 1968 I was like a year old, so I wasn't watching anything that I remember.
Well, I mean, I was like young. I was running home from school to watch it, but there was this show, and a lot of people, a lot of my friends who are, into this kind of thing, we say, I think Dark Shadows was really the major creation of tarot and
That's awesome.
all those good things that are connected. Yeah.
And I wonder if anybody ever did a Dark Shadows deck. They should have.
There
because
are a
like
couple
in the
of them.
Really? Yeah, because like in the 80s is when like me and wow, you've got to do
there are a few
a video
or
something and show those. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Most of them are kind of bootleg decks, meaning they weren't authorized,
licensed.
So they're they're like kind of like an underground deck. But no, there's quite a few. I know of at least 2, and then I have a friend who's actually working on a Dark Shadows deck. And
that's
amazing.
With all the characters.
It became so popular like in the 80s with like my friends and stuff. We were watching reruns, of course, but I don't know. I always thought Barnabas was kind of hot.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loved Barnabas, and everyone had, they had such wonderful names. They had like names like Jeremiah, and they all were
it was
beautiful
smart
Kate
too.
And what was kind of like the first show, a lot of people say that their lives were changed by Dark Shadows and Star Trek.
Yeah.
Had a lot to do with creating our culture, as we call it.
Definitely
because they showed possibilities of things beyond
the
just
original
the
series.
Usual. Yeah, and you can still watch it. And the episodes, I did some research, and if you do want to see the that 1968 show where they had the cards, you want to go to episode 368 and 369, and you will. That's the. It's believed that's the first time that tarot cards were shown to the American.
I actually found an earlier one, and then there's also the movies as well. If you go to Mary Kay Greer's blog, she actually has a TV and movie tarot watch list, which she doesn't keep up anymore, but it does go all the way up to, like, remember Bones, Mary, and shows like that. The Simpsons have had tarot. Tarot's been on everything. The Andy Griffith Show, etc. Okay, so the earliest listen she has is The Lawman, is the TV show. Joe Wyatt, Season 4, Episode 13, December 1961. a tarot reader does like 4 readings there. And then as far as the movies, like the oldest reference that Mary's got in this list is Nightmare Alley. Fabulous 1947 film noir, and she does tarot readings in it. And A Touch of Evil, Orson Welles' masterpiece. No, it's
actual tarot. Okay.
Actual tarot. It's actually the one in 1947 is actually using the Waite Smith deck. It is.
What date? Oh, so they actually that was predating when it came to the U.S. So that was still
right. Yeah, but
Hollywood
can get a hold. Yeah, Hollywood can get a hold of anything they want to get a hold of, and the deck was still available. It just Stuart Kaplan reprinted it in 71, through U.S. Games, but it was still available. It was
you could get it
easily accessible, but But Nightmare Alley came out in 1947, and Touch of Evil was Orson Welles' masterpiece from 1958, and fortune teller Tanya does the readings, and it looks like a Marseille deck to me. I'm going to say that was a Marseille deck.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It must have been which is the deck that I'm talking about. It's I actually read with it because a lot of people they say I don't want to see the pictures. So the pictures are kind of benign on the and they're in French. I mean, it has l'amour. It does have the so-called, but it's more cartoony. It's not quite as graphic. Mm-hmm. And I love La Maison the Tower.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just want to jump in and say in the chat room, Jason, says, "Oh my God, Dark Shadows! I watched the 1990s miniseries."
Yeah.
And
like he got into it in the 90s. Me and my friends got in it in the 80s. It's like a cult
in the
classic.
80s. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they made a movie, of course, but not. It was, that was.
It wasn't that good.
That great. Yeah. But I did want to mention that I put the link to Mary Kay Greer's movie and TV list in the chat room. So if you're listening live, you can go over to the chat, thetarotguild.com/chat, and grab that. If you're listening in archive, I'm going to put that on the replay page here where you're listening, watching, where you can get that list and check it out. It's perfect for International Tarot Weekend. Hey, thanks for sharing all this with us, Sharonah.
My pleasure.
And we're looking forward to your show with Sasha, the fabulous Sasha Graham, tomorrow. Did you want us to pull some cards for you?
Oh, I'm scared.
Dun, dun, dun,
I'm scared. Okay, go ahead.
Scared.
Okay.
Are you scared?
I'm scared.
Are you scared?
Oh. I'm going to pull a crystal card.
Oh, yeah. See what you get here.
Sharonah.
For
Sharonah. Okay, what happens? Oh, look, it's really card. And it's about, being in a state of just this beautiful state of health and, throughout your body, and to just really, it's funny, how much of our our bodies we take for granted sometimes, because it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and we tend to like ignore it.
I did a COVID test today. And it came out negative.
No way.
But that's really kind of funny that it's about health. One of my friends was exposed and said you better test yourself, and I'm negative.
Wow.
Great.
It's the only time when it's good to be negative.
Yeah, right. The only time that it's good to be negative, and really just you're already feeling the appreciation for that, But yeah, that's what it's about. So it's just kind of a little confirmation. You know, you found out the result before the card could get to you. To let you know.
So that's funny. Them cards are pretty powerful.
I got a message for you.
What'd you get?
Oh, yeah. So I got the Three of Wands, literally your ship coming in, especially in this Ciro Marchetti's Grand Lux that I'm using. The ship is literally coming into the shore here. 3, creativity and communication. I also got I drew a supporting card. I got the Nine of Wands. So, you know, you already have all the skills and abilities. You've already had the experience, been through it all, been through the ringer, you know, and your ship is ready to come in, and it's talking about focusing on creativity and communication there, Sharonah.
Awesome. Well, I thank you.
Awesome sauce. All righty.
Yeah. Have a great show tomorrow. We'll be listening.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye,
Love
Sharonah.
You.
Love you guys.
Love ya.
And so, you know, if we don't get to your call today, remember you can call in tomorrow. Write down the phone number, 714-816-4628. Same bat channel, same bat time. So just come over to thetarotguild.com/chat. You'll be able to listen to the show there and chat with us during Sharonah's show. And you can call in at that number, and it's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and you can call in and get a mini reading on Sharonah's show as well. So let's see if we can squeeze in maybe 1 or 2 more calls. We're
sounds good.
Literally at the end of the show here, but because it's International Tarot Weekend, let's try to squeeze in 1 or 2. We got an area code 310. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Mindy. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Yay,
I love
LA.
Los Angeles. How are you?
I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
Mindy.
Like
Mindy.
Mark and
okay.
Mindy.
Like Mark and Mindy. Ooh, God, I haven't thought about that in 30 years. Anyway, what's going on with you today?
Nanu.
Nanu.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm so open to the process, and I would love to hear whatever the wisdom of tarot wants to share with me.
Okay, Dax, I think it's your turn to go first.
The wisdom of tarot. I got another 3.
I love it.
We're getting that creativity and communication coming through, just like for Sharonah. It's all about, you know, focusing on that. Mm-hmm. That's what it's talking about, you know. And I got and in particular, this is the 3 of Cups, which is a card of celebration. It's like letting your hair down. It's you know, smelling the roses, going out and dancing, girls' night out, things along those lines, you know. And so that's where we, you know, we all try to plan and figure things out, and, you know, it's all think. We forget to feel, you know. So part of creativity is opening yourself up to that. And the message coming through here is, okay, Mindy, you gotta let your hair down, and you got to get out with the girls, and things are going to come to you through that, like whatever it is that you love to focus on and create, whatever area, you know, it's going to come through not just you mentally figuring it out. It's going to come through feeling it out, and it's going to come through communication and communicating with other people and getting other people's ideas and becoming inclusive. You know, nothing is created. Even when we say, oh, you know, Edison created the light bulb. Well, you know, first of all, he stole it from someone else, but that, you know, that's neither here nor there. But, you know, he had 25 other technicians, you know, working on this. You know, it wasn't just him. Sure. You know, there's no such thing as, I mean, even if you're a solopreneur, you know, they call it nowadays, entrepreneur. You have to have a client at the very least to have a business, so already there's you and one other person at the very least. Usually there's a whole lot of people collaborating with anybody, even if they're a solopreneur. So that's the message that's kind of coming through. I'm sorry?
It's really relevant what you're saying. It's exactly where I am, and it's a really great message. I'm working with a group of people, for business.
Oh, perfect.
So,
Perfect. Yep. That's what you want to focus on, and it's looking really good. I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to start turning in your favor. The timing is around, I'll get that Two of Swords again, married, came up, synchronicity, came up again. In the next couple of weeks, you could have something break through. The Sun card, oh my God, can't get a better card. But another message that's coming through is the Magician, and it's just reminding you that, okay, you want to engage your creativity, communication. You want to, like I said, let your hair down and talk full and be open. But you also have to ultimately remember that you're the magician. You manifest what you want, and to have your focus on, don't take your eye off the prize. They used to say, it's so real. It's so true. We think of all these cliches as cliches, but there's reasons for them, and if you keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on the prize, that's what's going to draw it in, is being able to see what you want, visualize what you want. Let's see what Mary's getting for a message for you.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's really interesting, and I got some of the same cards Dax did, as far as like the Sun card especially, but I feel like the main message here is that, like, no matter what, don't ignore it, don't overlook the gift in the situation. And I get the Five of Cups in the past position. And sometimes we can have experiences that kind of like make us feel like maybe, we can sometimes get a little cynical even, because we get let down. And it goes from that Five of Cups in the past, whatever that was, whatever was a disappointment when you tried and it just didn't come together the way you wanted it to, that kind of thing. Now I see you in this Six of Pentacles energy, and that's the gift. That's that sense of generosity and also, kindness. And right above it is the Lover's card, and the Lover's card has so much to do so often with choices, reminding us that we have choices. And sometimes we try to fit a square peg into a round hole, and we're like, gosh, it's got to fit in there. Why isn't it working? And it's saying like, no, you don't struggle. Don't struggle in your mind with it, because
Wonderful.
You do have more choices maybe than are always, immediately apparent. Sometimes we have to just breathe in, breathe out, and like open up to it and open up to the gift of this moment. So that's what I have for you.
It's wonderful. Really wonderful
awesome.
messages. Thank you.
Thanks so much for calling.
Thank you. Take care.
You too.
Thanks,
enjoy
Mindy.
your weekend.
Enjoy the rest of your International Tarot weekend. We're going to try to take one more call. But before we go there, Mary, I wanted to remind everybody to go over to thetarotguild.com, and right there on the main page, right after the show here, if you want more tarot and tarot talk, you can listen to Gary Karp, myself, and Mary here talking all about our origin stories, talking about
different cards.
What else came up? Different cards. I remember we talked about the Three of Swords and some other things. Really interesting, fascinating discussion. You're going to get a lot out of it, especially if you're in tarot. And it's right there, the video. You can click play right on the main page. Just go over to thetarotguild.com. And don't forget to tune in for Sasha Graham, Waite Smith Tarot tomorrow with Sharonah that was just on Her Magic Universe show tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and she'll be happy to take your call as well tomorrow. Write down the number, 714-816-4628. It's good for all of our shows. Also, mark your calendars, July 17th, Kabbalah for Tarot Readers with Sharonah, and July 24th, Becoming a Successful Remote Reader with a panel discussion with the Tarot Guild staff. You're going to get a lot out of that one if you're thinking of going pro, reading tarot. Ooh, that almost rhymed there.
It almost did. And we'll have interesting posts on our Facebook group too. There's that cool video of how they used to engrave stones and stuff. All kinds of cool stuff coming up.
Absolutely. Look for some international stuff there. And hey, International Tarot Weekend, what better weekend is there, to join the Tarot Guild for $1 a month and get in on all these workshops, plus all of the other benefits you get. You can read all about it at join.thetarotguild.com, or go over to thetarotguild.com and just click in the quick links there, join the guild, and you can read all the benefits you get for $1, Mary. Let's see who's been waiting the longest. We're going to take the last call here. It looks like area code 267 is the lucky caller. And what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello.
Jessica. Hi, Jessica in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. We're from Pennsylvania. Where are you from?
Mary's from the west. I'm from the east.
Of New Jersey, right over the border of New Jersey.
Oh, cool.
So
what did you want to talk about?
I wanted to know what you guys are picking up as far as finding my new home, like in general about that, and if you see me in a house or an apartment also.
Oh, I like that. House versus apartment, new home.
I haven't got that one in a while.
I know.
I think you're up first, Mary.
Okay, I'm going to hone in on this, is it going to be a house or an apartment thing? I like that part.
It's also been a long search, so I spoke to you guys a month or two ago about it. I'm still in the search.
Okay, still on the hunt. Well, this is interesting. It's a house or apartment. I feel like there's almost more options too, maybe a condo or something, duplex, something like that. Even, So I feel like you are going to find something. And when it comes to an apartment, it's kind of weird. But I feel like an apartment might be easier to find, but for some reason it's more expensive. So I'm leaning more towards...
It actually means I'm settling if I get an apartment, because I really don't want an apartment.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. That's good then, because it's leaning more towards house, but there's this sense of things being more open. I have the 7 of Cups saying there's more options. It's also, it's a card too, that also reminds us hey, when something really presents itself and you have a pretty good feeling about it, not to, not to take too long to decide. Because that can be a card of indecision or even procrastination sometimes. But you've been looking for a while. You're not procrastinating. It's just where is the thing that's really going to click for me? But yeah, I'm leaning more towards not an apartment, something else. Could be like a condo, like a duplex. I don't know. But it looks good for it happening, and before the end of summer, I think. But let's see what Dax is getting.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, it's all looking really good here. One of the cards I got is that 5 of Cups, which has come up, in earlier readings. That whole just feeling, and in this particular deck. There's the lady sitting there, and the cups are built, and she's got her hand on her chest, and she's kind of like bending her head forward. The message coming through is, watch where your focus is, because there's the two upright cups over there right behind her, or actually it's to her right. And we get so wrapped up in the emotions of things that we, again, just like I said with the last caller, it's like keeping your eye on the prize, eye on the ball, focusing on what you want. Don't settle, no settling. And there are opportunities out there, but I got the feeling that you're feeling like this. You're feeling like this Five of Cups, and so you need to shift focus. I got a couple of individuals coming through, the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands. There's some folks out there that can help you with this that I don't think you're engaged with at the moment. I don't think they're like a current agent or something. These could even be people from your family or from your past, because the nostalgia card, the Six of Cups comes up. Also, the Six of Coins comes up as well. That's 2 6 cards right next to each other. 6 is the number of success in numerology, and Six of Cups is that feeling of nostalgia and the emotional aspect, whereas the Six of Coins is the more material. It often comes up when there's going to be a windfall, and I just feel like something breaking and going your way. But be on the lookout for who are these two gentlemen. And we don't have enough time for us to pull more cards and explore this, but there's two people, and who knows, they might even be a fire sign. Be looking out for them fire sign people that can actually, help this along in some way. And I'm not 100% sure how exactly, but I do feel that there's going to be something breaking, because, you got the 2 success cards in a row, 6 and 6, and that Six of Coins is literally a breakthrough, a windfall. And then when I cut the deck to pull these cards, I call it cutting to the heart of the matter, and that's the card at the bottom after you've cut, for those tarot people out there listening. Eight of Wands. There's that Eight of Wands again. That means things happening swiftly. And like I said with the previous caller that I got the Eight of Wands with, as a timing card, it's great. I mean, it's like 8 days. 8 days to 8 weeks, something's going to break here. But it's looking really positive. I'm not getting any negative cards at all, except for, possibly that Five of Cups. But I think that's more talking about your, I don't know, current, or maybe not right this second, but, more recent feeling state around this. And it's just a little, not a deep warning, but kind of like a little nudge that, hey, keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah.
I hope that helps you out, Jessica.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, because I have been feeling like a little bit down about it, and I even lost my voice is a little funky too. I got a little sick over it, and Spirit presented this apartment to me, and it has good parts to it, but it's not right, and it keeps bothering me. But yeah, it's the first thing that kind of really came available in the last 2-3 months, and I was going through a big internal struggle about if the lesson was that Spirit wanted me just to take something and make the best of it, and maybe that was the lesson, because I've been going through that with work. To just take something and build on it, but I don't feel comfortable doing that so much with the health situation, because I don't want to go from a shitty job to a shitty home. You know what I'm saying? I need it to have more of happiness for me.
I mean, if it was an emergency and you could get a month to month, I'd say go for it. But what's coming up in the cards is definitely saying not to settle. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Mary?
I like that you said that, because that's how this whole journey started, was not to settle. So then it was kind of really sad for me to be like, oh, is this the message after all of that? But I thank you for saying that, because I came out to the park and I'm like, I'm just going to get refocused and focus on exactly what I want, because exactly what you were saying, like Spirit was bringing me things that I wanted. It was just that they were too expensive.
Right.
Just like, but now I think things are moving. So, just a little bit more patience and just more
options opening up for you. Yeah. And it's very rare that Spirit is going to give you the message like, hey, you should just settle for something. Like you got to also pay attention to, one of the other cards I got was the High Priestess. You got to pay attention to your gut feeling. And if you're considering something and you just feel all kinds of bad about it, that's a pretty important message right there, that it's just not for you, maybe,
Yeah, and that's what was bothering me so much, because I don't live my life like that. But, that was the message for the job thing, because I really did need a job. So, I'm there right now making money, and I'm still interviewing. But,
Good.
So, that was kind of the message for the job thing. But, that's I just got confused and turned all around, all different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I was getting with that Five of Cups and everything. So basically, okay, we'll leave you with this hint. What you want to do is, you're looking at that apartment thing, and you're noticing all the negatives about that situation. First of all, it's not your own house or home. It's an apartment. You're renting from somebody else. And then there's all the things that are not up to par what you really want. What I want you to do is write that all down, and then on the other side of the paper, flip those around. What's the opposite of that? Start writing down everything how you actually want it, and that will help you refocus. There's something magical about taking they have these things, they're called pens, and you can write on a piece of paper. I know that, they still have those.
I did that an hour ago. I did that exact exercise an hour ago.
Yes.
So
Yes, you're doing the right thing. This is just a confirmation then. Perfect.
Yeah,
and so you just, because, it's one thing to think about it, but it's another thing to physically write it down, and then you have something to look at, which is holding a focus. It's drawing, you're using your eyes, and it's literally focusing you, and you don't have to just do it in your head. You have something physical, and add to that list, rewrite the list, and just keep your eye on the ball. Focus on what you actually want and draw that in. And that's what's going to, really make the difference here, I think. Well, thanks for the call, Jessica. That was great.
Yeah. Thanks for calling. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And for everybody out there, enjoy the rest of International Tarot Weekend. And we're going to do the same thing next year. And then, Mary, I feel like with tarot becoming so popular and really mainstream, in a year or two, let's say a couple of years, I could see it becoming International Tarot Week. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, baby.
Big things coming, folks. Big things coming. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us. And, we don't have a show without all of our fabulous callers and listeners out there. Mary, any last words?
Yes. A wonderful International Tarot Weekend to you all. And have fun. Check us out on the Tarot Guild. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on LinkedIn. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out. We got it going on. All for you.
We're
doing it all for you.
All for you. That's right. Goodbye, everybody. We will see you in 2 weeks, right, Mary?
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
We get a break. Bye, everybody. Yes. Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, John Boy.